So now we're going to talk about retirement. We're going to shift to retirement. Now, they look happy, right? And it's both of them. Okay? So they're happy retiring. That means that they're in a place where they're happy. And once again, now we're talking about retirement. We're going to talk about retirement with a little bit of money. Anybody want to be retired? This is the situation. Every day. Guys, if you look at the numbers for individuals that are retired in America, the numbers are scary. And I'm just using America. If I give you the global numbers, it is worse. I'm just going to talk about right here because these are people you can reach out to and touch unless you travel the halls. Now, I want you guys to think about something else. When you think about retirement, you think about not having to deal with certain things because you did everything you were supposed to do to get there, right? But if you don't understand money, you don't understand finances, you don't understand compound interest, you don't understand how to grow money, you don't know how to use your mutual fund, you don't have an IRA set up in place, your 401k at your job, you don't even understand how it works, so you don't even understand how to match it if you have it. If you own your own business, you don't even know how to financially take care of yourself to be able to grow that money. Do you understand that it is not possible to smile at that age? If you tried your very best without the proper education to do something with it, you are still failing. You trying your very best is not enough, especially today. We all need help in some way. Why not take the help that's reaching out to you? Because nobody else is. That's what I tell people all the time. Nobody else is. So, I don't want that. How many of you are looking forward to this? Anybody looking forward to that? Not me. So let's talk about some retirement numbers. U.S. News, check this out, all right? Percentage of people between ages 65 and 69 who are working grew 9%, like 9 percentage points to 30% in 2010. And up to 61, what year was that? That's last year. Guys, that means that it doubled. That means that every individual in that means if you walk into someone, you meet someone, and you ask them their age, there is a 61% chance that what? They're still working. And not working with an end, meaning they're just still working. How scary is that? Because in no one's world am I 70 still lifting boxes for somebody else. In November, December, and January in New York City. When it's snowing. 2014, check this one out. 72% of people ages 45 to 60 plan to delay retirement, up from 42% not that long ago. Listen, if these numbers don't scare you, I don't tell you, man. Here, this is why. Lingering effects of the recession, job market, company changes, getting fired, downsizing, that's a big reason. Another one is the low interest rates. People at one point were used to putting money in a 401k. Let me start this way. How many of you guys here have a 401k? Let me just start there, right? How many of you guys who don't have a 401k have an IRA? A Roth IRA. I'm going to just say Roth. Okay, if you got an IRA, you need to transition that IRA regular into a Roth IRA. And there's a big reason for that, and I can't go through that right now with you. Okay, now, low interest rates are the problem. At one point, people were getting 7% returns a year, 10% returns a year, 15% returns at one point. You guys know what people are seeing today? 0.37 maybe, and you might get a 3. If you get 3% returns on something now, you had a real good year. Meaning like the numbers are nowhere in. So what happens now is, remember, people at one point, their money was growing at a rate that said 55 is cool, 60 is all right. And because of that, it led to a certain shift. So what happens there is, all of these things made a difference because now the shift in the 401ks, what that meant now is individuals were now having to pull money out earlier because they're still trying to live. So that 100,000 by the time they leave is now down to 30,000. So what do you think I have to do if I have 30,000? I have to go back to work at 70. Scary. Well, let's take a look at what all that stuff does. Long-term health. That means that all of that comes back to stress. Stress does all of this to you outside of you not taking care of your own body. That means that if you took care of your entire body, you did everything you were supposed to do, you were right on track, you ate well, nutrition. You had a plant that turned into a plant that could walk to you and give you fruits in the morning and vegetables and vitamins that spoke to you and told you you needed it. And you got all of that done, and then you are now stressed out over something else. You can still put yourself in the grave. These are all of the things that comes. Now, where does this all start, guys? In the brain. You choose to stress yourself out. You ever meet some bums on the street? I mean, I met a guy on the street. He wasn't asking for no money. He was just in people's way. And I remember somebody was like, you know, they ask for money? He goes, oh, no, this is free. I'm okay. Meaning, he's like, I'm not, meaning he could be stressed out. I was like, how's he eating? How's he? I was like, I said, people are just nice to me. Meaning that he has not a care in the world, and he's getting more traction on the streets than the person who's begging and stressing themselves out. Different mindset. So what happens is you see we have depression, anxiety, insomnia, low energy. You guys see all this stuff? So let's take a look at some of the other things. If stress is there, you now can go with high blood pressure. We look over there, you got heart disease over there. You got ulcers in your stomach. I mean, all this stuff is happening, but here's the next part that's scarier. You could be stressed out and you're like, I'm going to deal with it, and then you start letting your body beat up on itself because you're not checking it. And now we got another problem to deal with. Guys, I'm telling you, you only have one of you, okay? That my belief so far, and I could be wrong, but here's my belief, okay? I said it before. I said it a couple years back. Since I not only have this, some people say, when you die, you might come back reincarnated as like a butterfly or something, right? I'm going to tell you right now, if I come back, I'll be a pissed off butterfly. Pissed off. Who said I wanted to come back as a butterfly to begin with? I don't even know what they eat, but they just look frail. I mean, somebody's going to mash me. I'm going to be a pet for no reason. Now I'll come back, and I'm a pet, and I can't eat barbecue chicken or something. I'm just giving you an example. I mean, like, I can't do nothing. I'm not excited about dying before my time. Anybody else? No. So what I want you guys to really look at is that this is the situation we're dealing with. We're dealing with a situation that when you're giving your message to people is about something that we all in our brains have a plan of what it looks like, but not a real action plan of what needs to happen day to day to make sure it ends up that way. So everyone that you're talking to that isn't sitting here doesn't have this information the way that you just got it. Our job is to take this to them. When you leave here and you set up your challenge parties, all you're doing is educating them on what you know and what some of them know about, but choose not to pay attention to. And you're just letting them know that if you want to stay the way you are, no problem, but don't complain about it. Don't complain about it to me. I tell individuals, if I choose to be overweight, then that's my choice. That means I can't complain when something's wrong with my health because of my own weight. I chose to be here. If I choose to do certain things, so that's when someone chooses to smoke, I'm not going to run up on them and take the cigarette from them. I'm going to say, hey, just so you know, you're going to have a horrible death. Why? That's what it says. All the facts show it. Now, I am not going to say to you guys say, well, Chris, you sound crazy. That's harsh for saying it. If you're a friend of mine, anyone knows me, I just tell it to you like it is. If I see it, I'm going to tell it to you. That's what it is. If I don't like it, I would expect the same thing back. But there's someone in everyone's life that is that wake-up call, and it could be you. So I have a little image here. It's a cartoon image, but it's pretty drastic. But I like it, okay? Now here's what's happening. There's a guy laying, and there's a story behind it. And basically the cartoon story is basically the 5 regrets. So the guy's laying there, and he's going through his 5 most, like the 5 regrets, the 5 things he wished he could just go back and do. And his health and the family and the traveling. Like he's reflecting on all of it. And while he's doing that, he sees an angel and he sees death, and all they're doing is they're playing cards on him. And they're waiting for him to make a decision on which direction he's going to go. Is he going to live or is he going to die? The reason why it's exciting to me is because this is our decisions every day. Him laying in that bed is us every day. And the choices we make are either going to lead us closer to where we're going to go in reference to living longer, or the choices we're going to make is going to put us right where we don't want to be. And one of the things that really jumped out to me was people not realizing that that's an everyday battle. We wake up every day, and it is a blessing to be able to walk, breathe, do all the things that we take for granted. And until we get back to a point where we can appreciate our bodies for running 100%, we will never take care of it the way it needs to be taken care of. Because we naturally just want to abuse ourselves because it doesn't feel bad initially. But it's not about today. It's about that morning when you get up and all of a sudden you realize you can't move. And all of a sudden you realize that feeling that you were feeling for the past 2 years that you didn't think was a problem is now a major illness, and now nobody's there to help. And this could be it for you. This could be that moment for you. And are you ready to go? So, just a random thought of the day. I figured I'd throw it in there. I thought about it, said, let me throw it in there, see how you guys feel about it. So I figured since we have to deal with this anyway, why not be a part of something that focuses on a solution? That's Rejuvenetics. We got to deal with this anyway. We got to deal with our retirement anyway. We got to deal with living a certain way anyway. Why not be a part of a company that is our focus? Our focus is to help everyone in here not just live longer, but when you live longer, we want you to retire the way you actually have it planned. We want to be a part of that process. That's why you see our programs involve the cars and the trips. And why? Because that's what you expect to be doing later on, right? With your family and everyone. So our goal is we're going to partner together with you to take this message that no one seems to want to address to the market, and we're going to enjoy this together. And if 95% of the world don't care, but we get the 5% we're looking for, that is a lot of people and more than enough for me. But it does start with us. It does start with us making the decision to partner together and do it. Now, here's another thing to think about. What's the point in working so hard for these goals? And think about everybody out there. People going to work every single day. I remember when I worked on Wall Street, people just run up and down, run up and down, run up and down. I'm saying to myself, what's the point when you really think about it? The cars, the homes, if they're actually working harder on putting their body in the grave earlier, and some of you know it. What's the point in working so hard? Think about it. Why get up to work 70 hours a week when at the same time your eating habits will put you in the grave? What are you working hard for? You're not going to be here to enjoy any of it. What's the point? You might as well not work because you are going to a place that you think won't come, and it's coming faster and faster. If you guys are looking at the death tolls, the ages are getting younger. The sicknesses are getting younger. There are illnesses that my parents never even thought about dealing with in a lifetime that are now being dealt with for 20-year-olds. Times have changed, and if you're not willing to make the adjustment, you will be affected. You can't run from it, okay? So that means that I'm not going to do anything. Well, I already showed you doctors are giving misdiagnosed, so you're going to have to deal with something. So you could do everything great and go to the doctor and take one wrong piece of medication, and all of a sudden that side effect just cut off circulation or something else. Now all of a sudden you're dealing with a problem you weren't supposed to. So let's talk about something completely different. First of all, it's never too late. Everybody say it's never too late. It's never too late for me. And it's never too late for them. And if you believe that, and that's it, did anybody get a good feeling when they said it was never too late for them? Didn't that feel good? right? They say that we feel the best as human beings when we see progression in our life and when we help others. Those are the two areas that make a human being feel alive. And it was crazy when I read that. It was never too late. So here's some changing steps. The first thing is get to know who you are. Who are you really? And I'm talking about the health you. Who's that person? Is that person, are you a 20-year-old that's really in a 70-year-old or 60-year-old or 50-year-old body? Or are you 60 and you're stuck in a 25-year-old body? There's some 22-year-olds that can't move. Their bodies are not where it needs to be. They're older. Their body is aged. Get to know you. Get to know what excites you. Get to know what's going to motivate you. Get to know you. Start to enjoy the person who that is, because once you know you and you're now fixing you, you can say, remember, you are the first step to the mission. Get it? Once you know you, if something goes wrong with your body, you can say, hold on. The doctor gives it, wait a minute, I know my body now. Hold on. I know me. That ain't going to work for me. I know how my body responds. That's new. I don't really believe. You see, if you don't know you, then anything someone says, you move to. They will control you and move you to action if you don't know you. What are your dreams? What do you really want? If you don't really have dreams, you don't have plans, someone else has some dreams and some plans, and you're going to help them build it by just sitting there and working a job. Realize doing nothing is still doing something. Here's something else for you. What moves you to action? We spoke about what drives you. What drives you and what moves you to action are two different things. Identify what's going to make you get up on the days you don't want to get up. Identify what's going to make you move when you don't want to move. And start putting more of those things in your life so that excuses don't become the reason you don't move. Tap into your true greatness. Now, I had a whole thing for that, but I realized that I'll be honest with you, I can only have that conversation with certain people. I want to bring it down a little. Someone said to me, Chris, don't make it too complicated. Keep it simple. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that you guys see it this way. Give your mind a shock. One of the things when people work out, they say if you really want to get things going is you want to make sure, like if you're working out, you want your body to get a shock. Like you want your body to be shocked when something happens because it's going to respond. You got to do the same thing to your brain right now. And to do that, you got to replace some things. I'm going to give you guys a task, and this is how I did it. But I'm going to give you guys a task to test it out for 120 days. For 120 days, for those that are willing to test it. If you want to really tap into your greatness, give yourself kind of detox everything and kind of see what's there and watch what comes. I'm going to give you an example. So 120 days, television, get rid of it. The radio, get rid of it. Certain conversations with people who are not moving forward, get rid of them for 120 days and replace them with healthier conversations. Replace the radio with whatever information you should be learning about yourself. Replace television necessarily with reading, maybe going out and networking with individuals, maybe actually sitting down and putting together a game plan for your life and sticking to it for the couple days. Meaning that just replace that with that. I did it for 1 year and it changed everything for me. Some of my friends still today remember that year. They say, Chris, I remember when it all changed for you. You shut everything down. I said, I had no choice. All of you guys have the same choice I had. We all do. They say we are where we are today based on the decisions we made when? Yesterday. So today you have a decision to make. And based on that decision, it will determine what's going to happen for you and your family in the future. So that is my message. And I'm done.